Welcome to Discover Community Church. Hey, look, I'm so glad that you joined us this morning. Whether you're watching online or you're actually at one of our watch parties. If you're at one of our watch parties, one of our guys is going to help you feel comfortable as you come into the home. We want you to feel welcome as well as your children. You can grab a snack and get ready for the service. If you're online, we have a chat host that's going to be there to help you. Go ahead and drop in the chat right now where you are and your name so that we can properly greet you. Look, we're going to get started in just a few moments, and so we're so grateful that you joined us. Here, we love God, love people, and we make a difference. We want to be an irresistible church so you feel like coming back each and every time so you can get your connection with the Lord. We're about to begin our praise and worship in just a few moments. And then right after praise and worship, we're going to do what's called a mindful moment. That's the time that we really focus in, move all the distractions out the way so that we can truly hear from God during the message time. So I look forward to spending this morning with you here at Discover Community Church.
For you my heart cries out, your sacrifice. For you my heart cries out, all wrongs made right. For you my heart cries out, here by my side, Lord, here's my life. I surrender
See, Mindful Moment is a mindfulness practice designed to help us improve our ability to decrease stress, anxiety, and regulate our emotions. This time is intended to help us focus our attention and observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. We invite you to join us. Find a comfortable position, remove any distractions, and prepare to experience God through our connection with the world around us. Close your eyes and allow every worry, task, and negative thought to float away. You have no time for them here, and so you let each of them go. Every bad thought, every fear, and every worry. Watch them all float away on the great big ocean in your mind. As you sit on the shore, you hear a voice in the distance telling you, today I am worthy. Today I am capable. Today I am the image of God in the world. The voice loops over and over. Today, I am worthy. Today, I am capable. Today, I am the image of God in the world. As the voice continues speaking, you watch the waves caused by your thoughts settle. The great ocean before you becomes still and clear. Today, I am worthy. Today, I am capable. Today, I am the image of God in the world. Slowly, without turning, your eyes still on the clear water, you realize that the voice is coming from within you. You open your mouth and speak out loud. Today, I am worthy. Today, I am capable. Today, I am the image of God in the world. Open your eyes.
Good morning, family, and welcome to church. So excited that you guys have either streamed in with us or you're at one of our live watch parties. I'm super excited to continue in our series called What Makes Christmas So Merry. So if you remember last week, we looked at how Matthew opened up his account of the life of Jesus. And by opening up with the genealogy, because he understands that his audience is a Jewish audience, they're going to want to know how Jesus is a descendant of both Abraham and David. And so he starts his account of the life of Jesus with the genealogy. And he purposely puts in people that will make the first audience a little bit uncomfortable. Because he begins to put in people with some salacious stories in their history. And so what we found last week is that Matthew purposely does this because he closely identifies with them, because he understands that Jesus didn't just come to fix a mess, but he wanted us to know that he also came through some. He wanted us to know that we weren't just a part of the story, we were the point of the story. And so we've been talking about what makes Christmas so merry. Matthew starts the genealogy like this. Matthew chapter 1, starting at verse 1, it says, "This is the genealogy of Jesus the Messiah, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham was the father of Isaac. Isaac was the father of Jacob. Jacob the father of Judah and his brothers. Judah the father of Perez and Zerah, whose mother was Tamar." And so today, what I want to talk about today is the First Lady. Yeah, we want to talk about Tamar. She is the First Lady in the genealogy of Jesus. And the hearers of this genealogy would get uncomfortable when you mention the story of Tamar and Judah. Because they would question, why are we bringing them up? And so we must ask the question, well then, what is so scandalous about the story that would make the first audience so uncomfortable? I'm glad you asked. That story is found in Genesis chapter 38. And it's dropped right in the middle of the story of Joseph. So chapter 37, Joseph is going into Potiphar's house. Chapter 38 is the story of Tamar and Judah. And then 39 picks right back up while he is in Potiphar's house. And so why now do we have these two bookends around someone so noble and then a story that's so salacious? So let me give you context before we jump into the text. So Judah leaves his family and goes to Adullam, and he meets a Canaanite woman named Shua, falls in love, and he marries her, and they have 3 sons. They have Onan, and Shelah. Judah goes out and he finds a woman, he finds a wife for And the wife that he finds for is the first lady, Tamar. Now, the Bible says that is wicked and he dies. And because of levirate law, which means that it's the responsibility of the next brother in succession to marry and have children with his older brother's widow, and the sons that he produced becomes the sons of the deceased brother. And so as a result, Judah gives Onan his son to Tamar. And the Bible says that Onan went into Tamar numerous times and he purposely didn't get the job done. I will let you read it yourself as to how he didn't get the job done, but he didn't get the job done. And the Bible says he too dies. Shelah is the youngest of the two boys, and at this time he's too young to marry. And so Judah tells Tamar, why don't you go back to your father's house, and once Shelah reaches marrying age, I will give him to you to be your husband. However, he had no intention of giving the baby boy to Tamar. Many years later, many years go by, and Shua, the wife of Judah, dies, and Judah goes into mourning. And after some time, some of his friends from Timnah says, look, man, it's sheep shearing time, and why don't you come on up, because it's going to be lit. Now, I know when we hear sheep shearing time, it seems like the most boring time ever. However, think about an ongoing, never-ending brunch with bottomless mimosas and goat meat omelets for everybody. Like it's really gonna be a lit, because when you shear sheep, that means that the bag is about to drop. Like we're about to get paid, and so there's a huge celebration around sheep shearing time. And so he responds to his friends in Timnah, and he says, yeah, I'm coming because I have sheep there too, and I'm happy that the bag is about to drop. And so he decides to go back to Timnah during sheep shearing time. And Tamar hears that Judah is coming to town, and she comes up with a plan. And this is where we jump into our text. Genesis chapter 38, starting at verse 13. And when Tamar was told, your father-in-law is on his way to Timnah to shear his sheep, she took off her widow's clothes, covered herself with a veil to disguise herself, and then sat down at the entrance of Enaim, which is on the road to Timnah. For she saw that, though Shelah had now grown up, she had not been given to him as his wife. And when Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, for she had covered her face. Not realizing that this was his daughter-in-law, he went over to her by the roadside and said, come now, let me sleep with you. And she says, what will you give me to sleep with you? And he says, I'll give you a young goat from my flock. He said, you will give me something as a pledge until you send it, she asks. And he says, what pledge should I give? She says, your seal and its cord and the staff in your hand, she answered. And so he gave them to her and slept with her. Now, this seal is probably a family crest. The cord attached to the seal is a significance. It signifies attachment, because you could also use this family seal to seal like contracts, and his staff, which represents authority. In other words, this dude hands over his wallet to sleep with Tamar. He just hands over the entire wallet. And she became pregnant by him. Verse 19 says, after she left, she took off her veil, put back on her widow's clothes again. Meanwhile, Judah sent a young goat by his friend, the Adulamite, in order to get his pledge back, in order to get his wallet back from the woman. But he did not find her. He asked the men who lived there, where is the shrine prostitute who was beside the road at Enaim? there hasn't been any shrine prostitutes here, they said. So he went back to Judah and said, I didn't find her. Besides, the men who lived there said there hasn't been any prostitutes here. Then Judah said, let her keep what she has, or we will become a laughing stock. After all, I did send her the young goat, but you didn't find her. After 3 months, Judah was told, your daughter-in-law Tamar is guilty of prostitution, and as a result, she is now pregnant. Pause. After understanding what he's done with who he assumes to be a temple prostitute, you would expect that Judah would have a little bit more compassion, a little bit more sympathy for someone who is caught in some type of sexual situation. Let's see what he says. Judah said, bring her out and have her burned to death. Now, isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing how we have a tendency to overlook what we've done and clearly see what others have done? This is what I'm finding out in my own life. What you despise about yourself privately, you will oppose loudly publicly. What you despise about yourself privately, you will oppose loudly publicly. Way too many examples in our culture to point out that the people who speak the most loudly about certain issues really have that particular issue in their own life, and it becomes self-hate as you spew hatred upon somebody else. But as she is being brought out, this young woman sent a message to her father-in-law, which says, tell him this, tell him I am pregnant by the man who owns these. And she said, see if you recognize whose seal, cord, and staff these are. In other words, she sends him his wallet. And Judah recognized them and said, she is more righteous than I, since I wouldn't give her to my son Shelah. And he did not sleep with her again. Now, again, this isn't the story you want to bring up around the Thanksgiving dinner table. This isn't the story that you want to share. But again, Matthew is writing this story in because he needs for us to understand that the very thing that we're ashamed of, God moves closer towards. The very thing that people will ostracize you for, God will move closer to you about. And so I've got to ask a question, God. Why use Judah? Like, okay, if the idea of the genealogy is to get from Abraham to David to Jesus, why did you use Judah? Like, you could have used Joseph, his brother, who is a shining example of dedication and discipline. But you chose to use Judah. Why in the world would you use Judah? Why would you allow salvation to come through the mess of Judah? So this is my opinion. This is Pastor Kev's opinion. I believe God allowed salvation to come through Judah because Judah already allowed salvation to come through him. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Y'all remember at the beginning of the story that Joseph is the favorite son of Abraham. Y'all remember that? So much so that his dad gives him a coat of many colors, and he's the favorite son. He has these visions that God is going to raise him. He's the favorite son, so much so that his brothers despise him. So remember one day his brothers are in the plains and they're watching over the family flock, and they see Joseph coming from afar off, and they plan to kill him. And so they grab him, they strip him of his coat, and they throw him in a pit, in a cistern, in a dry well. And while they're thinking, they're like, this is what we should do. This is what we should do. We should kill him. We should just wipe him off the face of the mat. He's a brat. He's always talking about being over us, and we should just take him out. And one of the brothers said, no. Let's not kill him. Why don't we sell him to gypsies? Now, do you know which brother that was that saved Joseph? It was Judah. Judah saved Joseph, who ultimately turns around and saves his family. I believe that God uses Judah because Judah was already used to save. Watch this. Most of us will have a hard time using somebody because we want to label people by their mistake. We want to label people based on a bad choice. And God's not put off by our bad choice. And he doesn't label us based on our bad choice. Have you ever made a bad decision and people began to call you by the bad decision you made? Yeah, you lied, but yet they began to call you a liar. Yeah, you got drunk, but they began to call you an alcoholic, and they labeled you based on your mistake. And so God's not put off by his mistake, and God uses Judah because Judah was already used in the process of saving. That's just my opinion. It's Pastor Kev. Part 2 of this series is what makes Christmas so merry. I'm glad you asked. Matthew drops this into the genealogy for a very specific reason. Because Judah becomes a picture of someone that deserves one thing but gets another. He's a picture of somebody who deserves one thing but gets another. The Levitical law says that if a man is caught in adultery, the adulterer and the adulteress are to be stoned. He deserves to be stoned. He deserves one thing and got something else. Now, I don't know about you, but this is my own life. This is what I know about me, is that often I am so glad that God sometimes didn't allow me to feel the sting or the consequence of the bad choice I made. Even though I deserved the consequence, I deserved one thing, but I got something else. Matthew wants us to know that what makes Christmas so merry is that God's grace is made available even to those who didn't seek it. Judah didn't seek God's grace, but yet he bestowed it. And so what's so merry about Christmas? Christmas is a reminder that we may have deserved one thing, but God was interested in giving us something else. Christmas is a reminder that God's grace is made available even to those that didn't seek it. What's so merry about Christmas is that this is the time that God purposely moved in our direction. Look, I pray that these messages are blessing you. I pray that even if you're having a tough time during the holidays, that God will remind you that this is a time where God's grace is made available to all, even those who didn't seek it. Look, I love you. I'm looking forward to celebrating the holiday. I pray that you will be able to find some joy around this time of the year, that you'll find a reason to understand why Christmas is so merry. I love you, and I'll see you real soon. God bless.
What an amazing and timely message. I hope that you got a lot out of that you took notes, and that you're challenged in your walk with the Lord. Hey, look, don't go anywhere, because we have some upcoming announcements so you can see all the great events that Discover Community Church is doing over the next couple of months. Also, you want to follow us on social media so you don't miss out on anything. You can follow us at Come Discover Us, and you can see us at any of our social media platforms. Also, we're about to take up collection for those who feel comfortable with giving to our ministry and what the things that we are doing to impact our community. You can see how to give at comediscover.org. Also, if you're at one of our watch parties, you're going to have a special time to talk about everything that was in the message with everyone in the room, so that we can ask any type of question that we want to, so that we all make sure that we're continually growing in the Lord. So, be on the edge of your seat. No questions are out of bounds. You can ask anything, whether it's about the message or current events. We want to talk and make sure that we hang out together and grow together as a community. For those who are online, please be on the lookout, because we'll be working on something for you to have a hangout as well. Look, I'm so glad that you joined us this week, and we are so grateful that you spent this time with us here at Discover Community Church.
What's up, family? This is Tasha from the VA campus, and welcome to Discover Church. Here at Discover, we strive to love God, love people, and make a difference. Here are some of our church announcements.
Discover Community Church is here, and here's what you can expect. Join us every first and third Sunday for our worship services. You can tune in online or join us in person at one of our watch parties in Maryland or Virginia. Watch parties are an opportunity to meet the Discover family in person and watch the service stream together. Registration is required. On fifth Sundays, we will also host community outreach events, giving us another chance to gather and impact our communities. We can't wait to welcome you to our irresistible church. Discover Kids will meet on first and third Sundays at 11 a.m. Join us at one of our watch parties or online at comediscover.org. Are you connected? To stay up to date on all the latest Discover Community Church news and events, go to comediscover.org to fill out our connection form and follow us at Come Discover Us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Giving is easy at Discover Community Church. Contributions can be made by text to give, Cash App, Tithely, PayPal, and Breeze. You can also donate by shopping through our page on Amazon Smile. Go to comediscover.org for all giving links. Show your Discover love by purchasing DCC swag at our online shop, where you'll find all kinds of Discover branded merch. Be sure to check back often, as we'll be releasing new designs throughout the year. Go to comediscover.org to shop.
Merry Christmas. I know you said, Pastor Kid, please slow down. But just realize in a couple of weeks, we will be full steam ahead into the Christmas mode. And while there's so much excitement and joy surrounding the Christmas season, for some, Christmas is not such a happy holiday. Did you not know that there are instances of depression and anxiety that skyrockets around this time of the year? And so join me as we answer the question, what's so merry about Christmas?
On Sunday, December 18th, Discover will host a holiday potluck and white elephant gift exchange at both campuses. If you'd like to join us for food and fun, please go to comediscover.org to register for our December 18th watch party. You will be able to let us know what you're bringing and if you're participating in the gift exchange on the registration form. Wear your favorite Christmas sweaters, hats, and accessories and come prepared for a great time. Discover is spreading holiday cheer this December with our 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. We'll be giving away 12 $50 gift cards to some of your favorite stores and restaurants to start the season of giving off right. Here's how you can enter the contest. First, make sure you're following Discover Community Church on Facebook. This is where the contest will run. Second, you'll fill out a short form so we know where to send the gift card if you win. You only have to complete these 2 steps one time. Next, look out for the daily question of the day starting on Thursday, December 1st through Monday, December 12th. Each day, followers who comment with an answer are entered into a drawing to win a gift card for that day only. Each day is a new question, a new drawing, and another chance to win. Let's get ready to have some fun during the season of giving. Did you know that your gently worn sneakers could help our community partner, My Girlfriend's House, send a young lady on their annual college tour? Well, they can, and here's how. It's hard to believe that an estimated 600 million pairs of shoes go into America's landfills every year. All of these shoes can be recycled, and the majority of them can still be reused. That's why we're partnering with Got Sneakers for a Sneaker Drive fundraiser. The sneakers that we collect will help us raise funds and keep sneakers out of landfills. Here's how you can help. Look in your closets and gather as many pairs of sneakers as you can that you no longer want. The sneakers that we all collect will help raise money to support My Girlfriend's House and will help our environment by keeping sneakers out of landfills. We'll collect all sneaker donations on Sunday, January 29th from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. If you're in Maryland, please bring them to the Prince George's County Police Department District 3 station at 7600 Barlow Road in Landover, Maryland. In Virginia, you can drop sneakers off at our watch party location at 7 St. Jacqueline's Court in Stafford, Virginia. We'll be there waiting to receive your donations. Let's clean out those closets and donate sneakers for a great cause.